Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Super excited today. Got my hands on a couple first aid kits from MyMedic. If you guys have watched the channel for a while, you know that MyMedic comes in BattleBox, the subscription boxes that I do every month. So super excited to get my hands on these. This company is based out of Utah, and let me tell you, even if you have a first aid kit and it's not a MyMedic first aid kit, you're probably going to want to check this out. So we've got two to look at today. First, we have the Sidekick, and then we have the MyFak. Now, both of these are the pro level, so you get some additional stuff in there based off of the regular tiered first aid kit, mainly being a tourniquet, which is probably one of the most important things in a first aid kit for life-saving. So let's go ahead and open this Sidekick first, and we'll take a look. So as you see, everything here is kind of laid out in a specific order. So we'll just start on the right-hand side here. So this is the Rapid Tourniquet. And we'll go ahead and get that open so you can take a look. So this style tourniquet, as you can see, is recommended by the American College of Emergency Physicians, and this is a veteran-owned and operated company here that makes this RATS tourniquet. So we'll just go ahead and get this unwound here. Okay, so as you take it out, you'll see here you do have this sticker here saying stop 3-finger loop because you don't want it any larger than that. What we're going to do is we're just going to take the end, put it through that 3-finger loop that's there. We'll just put it here for demonstration purposes. Once you get that done, you're just going to wrap and keep pulling tight. And obviously I'm not going to go as tight as you should, because I do like having a little bit of blood flow in my fingers. And then you would just cinch it off here when you were done wrapping, and good to go. So as you can see, it's a simple one-arm operation. So if it's an arm of yourself that you're trying to stop the bleeding, you'll be able to do that. So that is the tourniquet. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at what I find unique about these first aid kits. So if you're like me, first aid kit, open it up, stuff is everywhere. It's kind of hard to get to what you need without downloading everything that's in there. So what they do is they have little mods. So this one here is the mini medication mod, and we flip it over, you see you get 1 APAP extra strength, so that's pain reliever, fever reducer, 1 aspirin, 1 Decorol Forte, that's cold and flu med, 1 Diamode, anti-diarrhea, 1 Diatame, which is anti-diarrhea and antacid, 1 Diphenine for allergy relief, 1 Medimeclizine for motion sickness, and 2 packs of ibuprofen. So that is your medication mod. Moving right along, now we have the mini burn mod. So this is 3 burn relief gels. So we'll just pop that out so you can take a look at that. And all these packs are color coded, so the way it is in one kit is the way it is in all of the kits. So that's your burn gel there. Like we said, you get 3 of those. You also get a marker. Why do you need a marker, you say? Well, one of the parts of first aid, when you apply a tourniquet, you should put the date and time on there, so when medical personnel arrive, they know how long it's been in there. Okay, next we have a hydration mod. So this comes with 2 Cocos hydration packets, 10 water purification tablets, and 1 guide on how to use them. So again, a lot of times you're going to have some of these little first aid kits in, say, your hiking gear. So you never know if you might find yourself stranded and needing to get yourself some water. And there's the instructions on how you would use these aqua tabs for water purification. These hydration packets are basically just powdered electrolyte mix, so you'll drop that in your water to replenish your electrolytes while you're out there. Okay, and then we have the mini topical mod. So in here you're getting 2 triple antibiotics, 2 antiseptic wipes, 1 hydrocortisone cream, 1 super sanitizer, a lip balm, a sunscreen, oral pain relief, and friction frosting. All right, so a lot of that self-explanatory. This one here is your hydrocortisone, your Oragel basically, some lip balm, triple antibiotic, some hand sanitizer, sunscreen, and friction frosting. I think that's basically just like chafing, to avoid any kind of chafing. So that will help alleviate any chafing that you might get going on when you're my size. That sometimes becomes a problem. All right, and then you have your Zips 2-pack. So this is if you have a major laceration. So think of it as like a butterfly bandage on steroids. See if we can get a better look on these. So here's what they look like here. Make sure that's in focus for you. So really what happens is, let's say I have a laceration here. I'm gonna, well, let's do it like here. I'm going to place this here. That will stick on like a band-aid. Then as I pull these zips on the side, it's gonna close that wound and help keep it closed. So kind of like stitches in the field for any major lacerations that you might have. Okay, moving right along to this side, we're going to kick this off to the side. We'll talk about that one in a moment. So next, a nice pair of nitrile gloves and a space blanket. Not going to open that because those are always a pain to get back in there. So basically, you can make yourself a baked potato. Then you have a mini blister mod. So these are just blister strips or super skin. So you get 3 1x3 blister strips. So basically sticky moleskin. All right, then you get a nice piece of compressed gauze. So this is 4.5 inches by 4.1 yards. So definitely we'll get some coverage with that. All right, next we have the Super Skin Assortment Pack. This is a 12-pack. Now, there's Band-Aids, and then there's Super Skin. This stuff is amazing. First time I had it was in one of the battle boxes, and these Band-Aids actually flex with your skin. So you're getting 2 different sizes here. You got your normal size Band-Aids, and then these big Mama Jammas. I'll just kind of show you with one of these smaller Band-Aids what I mean when I talk about how great these Band-Aids are. Okay, so you have a nice little fabric here, and look at the stretch on this. So, you know, normally if I have a cut on, say, my knuckle, I'm always having to like cut strips into the bandage and stuff like that, so when I bend my finger it still stays secure, and that is going nowhere. Absolute amazing flexibility on those Band-Aids. Okay, and last but not least, over here you got some bleed stop. So anything from a small cut all the way to a severe bleeding wound, you can just drop that in there and hold that compressed gauze over there, and that bleeding should stop almost instantaneously. Okay, so there might be some things in this kit or in the other kit that we look at that you might not have any idea how to use, and that's where this little thing comes into place. So let me go ahead and scan this with my phone, and we'll show you what that little digital download looks like. Okay, so really you get this Stay Alive guide, and it's going to walk you through all the different emergencies that you might have. So here, as you see, we know that blue is going to be airway, or light blue will be airway, Red is going to be bleeding, so anything that's red you would use during bleeding. Anything dark blue is hydration. Yellow is medications, and green is outdoor. Continuing along, black is specialty. Purple is sprain or fracture, and pink is topical. Where did our topical go? There we go. So going through the ABCs of first aid, how to take care of Heimlich, CPR. I mean, everything that you could possibly need to know. Here's how it talks about how to use that quick clot, how to take care of lacerations. Even all the way down to how to like survive. So pretty amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one wrapped back up here. All right, and that is, it doesn't end there. On the back, you have this MOLLE style webbing that you can attach to things. The other thing that's good about that MOLLE webbing is it is Velcro backed, so you can attach it somewhere, and if you need something, just give it a yank and pull it off. And then hiding underneath, you have this little strap, so you can shoulder carry it or carry it around your waist, maybe on your lower back, so that way you have it with you and it's easily accessible. So super hyped about that. All right, so that was the Sidekick. So again, that's going to be some of your, you know, hiking type of stuff. Oop, forgot to get those back in there. Stick those there so I don't forget. And then comes in the big boy. So this is the MyFak. So we'll start on the outside first. So like we said, you have that MOLLE gear, and that is tearaway just like before. We'll undo our clip here and see what kind of goodies we get in this one. All right, so now as you see, we have a bunch of more different containers. So we'll start on this side. We already looked at the Rats tourniquet from the other one. Nitrate gloves, you get 2 pairs in here. And their burn mod, you get 4 burn gels and 1 burn dressing. We'll go ahead and take a look at those since we didn't have those in the previous one. So really kind of like that gel pad that's medicated, and 4 things of burn gel. Okay, next we have a quick clot hemostatic dressing. So I'm not going to take this one out of the package just so that way it still stays sterile. So just like before, you'll just open this up, drop that on the wound, which has the quick clot in there to help stop bleeding. A 20 pack of the 3x3 super skin band-aids that we looked at, and then a 10 pack of the 2x4. Try to get some space here. Again, you have that digital download first aid survival. All right, here's your gauze mod. So not going to open any of these to keep them sterile, but you get 3 2x2s, 2 4x4s, 3 non-adherent gauze pads that are 2x2, 2 non-adherent that are 3x4, 1 2-inch conforming gauze roll, and 1 3-inch conforming gauze roll. So plenty of gauze there. Another one of those compressed gauzes. Again, that's 4.5 inches by 4.1 yards long. And then you have an emergency pressure bandage. Again, not going to open it to keep it sterile, but as you can see, think of it as a bandage along with a, what are those sprain wraps called? Ace bandage. So that way you can get good pressure on that wound to help stop that bleeding. Okay, we're going to go ahead and load this side back up. All right, now moving into the center part here. We have some superwash, so that's good to clean out any wounds. Here's your topical mod again. This time you have 3 triple antibiotics, 2 antiseptic wipes, 2 hydrocortisone creams, 2 super sanitizers, 2 lip balms, 2 sunscreens, 2 oral pain reliefs, 2 sting relief wipes, and 1 friction frosting, and a partridge in a pear tree. All right, and you got a couple ammonia towelettes here. Looks like 2. A space blanket. Keep your, I was about to say victims. I hope they're not a victim of you and you're trying to save them. Then you have a large blister mod. Your medication mod, just as before, you got some APAP, some aspirin, cold and flu meds, anti-diarrhea with acid, allergy relief, motion sickness, and ibuprofens. Chem stick. All right, so that is it for the center flap. We'll call it side A. Down right, side B. Got a nice CPR shield here. So that will basically put a shield between your mouth and somebody's mouth that needs a CPR. Help keep you safe and sanitized. I don't even know where my mouth has been half the time, let alone anybody else's mouth, so definitely beneficial. Then we get another one of those hydration mods. So 2 packets, 10 water purification tablets. Then you have a couple chest seals. So I don't want to open them again because it's sterile, but basically clean around there. You peel off the backing, put it on the chest, check for any exit wounds, and that will allow the individual to hopefully continue to breathe if they have a hole in their chest, because you'll seal that up. All right, and now we have nasal pharyngeal tubes. You get 2 of those. One of is a size 20 and one is a size 28. Definitely look up a video on how to use these. Again, don't want to open them because I'd like to keep them sterile. But you get that nasal pharyngeal packet of lube, which if you've ever received one of these without any lube, you'd be much appreciative that there's lube there. A pair of gloves, a hand wipe, and an IFU. I got to open it. I got to see what that IFU is. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully the NPA is still sealed. It seems like it is. Okay. Oh, good. So you also get a guide, I think, here on how to use it. Yeah, perfect. So they do show you in there how to use it. You got your gloves, lube, wipes. Okay, the IFU must be just the instruction manual, I guess. So what is a nasal pharyngeal tube if you don't know? So there might be an issue with somebody being able to get oxygen or being able to breathe because of some kind of throat damage or anything like that. So a lot of times you probably see in like ER shows or on any kind of movie where they're kind of sticking that J tube down somebody's throat. That's really for unconscious victims. So what do you do when you have a conscious victim that can't breathe? You wait for them to go unconscious and then put that in there. These nasal pharyngeal tubes will go in the nostril, go to the back of the throat, and help that breathing, help get somebody breathing that's having difficulties. How do I know you can put this on a conscious victim? Because when I was in the military and these first came out, we were giving them to each other all the time just to train with them. We'd be in the middle of exercising. Somebody would say, oh, that person needs a nasal pharyngeal. Throw them on the ground, jam one of them in their nostrils. And that's how we know that it's very nice to have lube with those. Okay. All right, so that was it in pack number 2. Okay, and last but not least, we have the far right side. So basically we get an ACE bandage. You have a mini sprain and fracture mod. So this will be used for stabilizing. So in here you get a finger splint and wrap for that splint. Nice little cold pack, instant cold pack. Mini wound closure mod. So basically this is super glue with some strips. And then those Z-zips that we talked about on the previous one. A triangular bandage, use that. Of course, you can use that for any kind of cut, but also for making a sling. Then we have a little tool mod here. Okay, inside there we have some thermometer covers. A nice little digital thermometer. Pen light. A good pair of tweezers. And a rescue whistle. All right, then we've got some tape, another marker, some 550 cordage with a nice little Velcro retainer on there, and a pair of shears. All right, I will put all that back away later because I think I've had you on here long enough. But super, super great products, super great customer service. And these things range from that side kit to full-on EMT backpacks with you name it in there. So I'll put a link to MyMedic down in the video description box so you can go kind of see what they have over there. I'll forewarn you, they are not the cheapest first aid kits, but guess what? They're also not the cheapest first aid kits. These are high quality stuff that's in there. So if first aid is one of your concerns or one of the things that you're, really want to make sure that you are straight for your family, that's tough, durable, and versatile, not those little plastic flimsy first aid kits that are going to break the first time that you move them. This is definitely the way to go. I got my first MyMedic ifak or MyFak. God, it must have been 6 years ago. And it sits in my vehicle. Because of that back where you can pull it off, it's got that Velcro. It literally sticks on the back of my seat and it stays there. So super, super great products, super durable. I got nothing bad to say about it. So if you've got any questions about anything in these kits, please put that down in the comment section below. If you are, a medic or any kind of medical person and you have any comments about any of the objects in that kit, please share down below. And if you've got any stories about any kind of life saves or in any way that a MyMedic kit has helped you, I don't know now, but they used to have basically a lifesavers story section on MyMedic and how people utilize the kits to save somebody's life. So lots of good stuff over there. All right, I think I've talked enough. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you sticking around for this longer video, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.